Pioniere. Ok, Negro Amaro e Malvasia Nera.
This guy is Natalino is one of the most. If you can visit, he's a nice person to visit.
Sure.
The daughter speaks really good English too. He doesn't really speak any English, but he stands about this tall. We're sitting, we're not standing, but so, really endearing guy. When we went to visit him, they also have olive trees, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have their vineyards. He was mentioning about buying the vineyard of the freestanding bush. I wish.
Nice.
No, he was saying he showed us the vineyards, and he said, yeah, and this one, I had to buy it because the tourists kept asking me for this freestanding bush. So I finally bought one. It's 70. How many years old is that one?
That one is, I think, is 65, 70 years
65,
old.
70.
No, maybe more, maybe 80, I don't know. No, 80 years old.
And this is a guy who's doing no sulfites, right, added
Yeah.
to the wine, working completely organically, naturally, no temperature controlling of anything, so complete natural wine. Raw and alive to me, this wine is.
Yeah. The liveness of the wine. This is the main issue. It's about wine that are dead, wine that they are alive, okay? What is actually interesting about this winery is mainly the issue of that most of the Puglia has been commercially determined by one specific wine that is called the Primitivo, which you have in Tier 2, the Riserva.
From a different producer.
Amazing, Atanasio, not this one. Amazing wine, I have to say. That when we tried the other night, I was blown up, I have to say. But it's more fruity, Primitivo is the clone of the Zinfandel. And what a story that he told us, guys, Primitivo was not a famous wine at that time. Like, nobody cared about Primitivo. It was a great variety that we produced a bit of it, but that's it. The Primitivo became famous because of American tourism, mainly in the 80s, because it was the Italian Zinfandel. Actually better than Zinfandel, because it's actually more structured, slightly more powerful and more complex, with a higher acidity when it's well done. But then actually started the production of a lot of fake traditional wine. I know everyone connected Puglia for Primitivo, but if you used to speak with my grandfather, for example, he passed away like 20 years ago, but he used to say that Primitivo was not their own wine. My father, I'm from those areas, so my family is coming from Bari, from Monopoli, from Fasano. That was was famous, the Verdeca from the Collo Corotondo area, which makes a potentially beautiful white. It's a kind of a beautiful plateau surrounded by this strange house called the Trulli, and possibly one of the best, most beautiful regions in the world, where the human beings and nature are perfectly connected.
A place that everyone needs to put on there. No, a lot of people, they skip it. I don't know why. Some people don't even know where Puglia is. If I say the word Puglia in our tasting, they look at, they've never even seen it. So
right? Okay. We have a map here. This is Puglia is over here. Okay.
The countryside is beautiful.
So Barbera was over here. We had Brunello Montalcino, of course, is coming from Tuscany. Puglia is over here. Then we're gonna have later on Tier 1 and 2. We have the Sportiglione and the Rosso di Grazia. They're coming from Naples, Amalfi. Costa Amalfitano over here. I wrote, I think, really interesting pages about this story here. What house we have in the wine club? Manduria is over here. Croci is in Piacenza, over here. Colli Piacentini, the sparkling wine you're having here is over here. Beautiful guy, Massimiliano Croci. We're missing Fonterenza, Montalcino. Atanasio already said it. I think we placed almost all the wines all over Italy. This guy here, Natalino del Prete, is now he's becoming really trendy. Years ago was mainly promoted by a guy called Giovanni Bietti. He is passionate about natural wines. His wines were a bit rough, I have to say. They're getting more elegant in the last years. For sure, wines that needs to breathe a bit, so opening the bottle a couple of hours before, even more. Okay. What is actually incredible about this wine is
the liveliness of it.
The liveliness.
It feels real. You don't.
But it's actually current Puglia. What I wanted to say is refreshing. They are refreshing in a place that is a flat plateau, not a plateau. It's a valley. No, look like Michigan.
Michigan actually is.
It's like a flat. They have mountains, but it is so flat. You have these vineyards that are there. So everyone told us that the vineyards have to stay on a hill, not on the flat area. It's really warm there. So how do you get such a high acidity in an area that is so warm and flat? And you expect to have wines that are strongly in alcohol. Do you know what's the degrees in alcohol? Guess the alcohol degrees of this wine.
15.
No, but that's right. You knew that?
No.
But it's not. Doesn't taste.
Doesn't
like
taste it. But
doesn't taste like a 15 degree
no,
wine.
no, because
all.
because it's
I would guess
it's refreshing.
14 at least. I would say like it's refreshing.
No,
You
it's
can feel
refreshing.
it. You don't.
It doesn't give you the sense of an Amarone, something that weighs
Absolutely
you down or
not.
anything heavy.
Absolutely
No.
not.
It's light on the palate.
Yeah. No,
It's not light on the palate, but it doesn't sit there and weigh you down.
And it's earthy. I know it's been abused, this word, but this is the quintessential of an earthy wine. Okay, it's a kind of a rusty, olivey, rusty Mediterranean garrigue. They call it in French, if you want la garrigue, if you want to be fancy with your friends, it means Mediterranean aromas. What are Mediterranean aromas? Are usually like rosemary, sage. More than sage is like oregano, all these herbs that grows naturally on the Mediterranean coast.
If you come here and you just do a run anywhere on the coast, if you're just
you can smell
doing a little run, you
okay.
just smell it, or you just kind of brush your hand against a bush as you're running, and you smell all these herbs.
Yeah. This is Negro Amaro and Malvasia Nera. Negro Amaro is technically the historical grape variety of that area. I can mention some historical grape varieties from Puglia. There is Verdeca for sure, Nero di Troia, Sussumaniello, Negro Amaro, there's surely a lot of others which I don't remember at this moment. Il Bombino Bianco,
Bombino Nero, probably,
there's a guy that makes a sparkling wine in north of Italy.
But open it up early.
Open up early. It needs to breathe.
It has a slight little bit of an acetone aroma that's going away.
Allora, acetone. That smells of like barnyard.
Acetone.
No, but not in general. Acetone, barnyard, reductive sensations. Unless it is a wine that is completely bred, it means that it's got some disease in it, some bad yeast. Usually, these aromas in natural wines that are not sulfites. 5 minutes in the glass, 10 minutes in a fancy glass like this, and the wine will boom open up slowly. And that's the most beautiful thing about natural wines in general, is about that they grow sip by sip. That is the opposite of a confectionery wine. A confectionery wine is strongly determined in the first 5-6 sips, and then it dies, go down, flat. Also,
no, this one will open up and become more. It's already doing it in the last few minutes we've been speaking about it. It's already opening up.
So you're gonna see the video. You're gonna see the cellar that is like most rough place in the world. Also, it's interesting because he bought the cellar from he bought the new cellar from a cellar that failed. They used to make industrial wine, okay, and you have these huge hangar, and there's 3 small bars, and it's all empty. And he said, "What's your aim?" I don't know what to do with all this space.
So he's gonna make a tasting room or something in the downstairs.
The tasting room is the most sad place in the world. Like
has a short ceiling.
Yeah, that's
too.
so you can.
He can fit in, but
yeah, he didn't realize that now when he's not. Some people can be taller than him. His daughter is such a nice person.
Really, really sweet.
Beautiful
She's young,
person.
26, helping
26,
out a ton
working
with
together.
sales, working together in the vineyards.
And they are the sweetest person ever. Go to find them.
Visit
go
them
to
in
visit
Puglia.
them in Puglia. It's amazing.
I have to go.
No, you have a lot of wines to do.
Yeah,